think they're right there, Josh. Yep, right there.
Okay, I see them now. There he is, got him all. All right, guys, for today's episode, we got one of my best friends coming out, Josh Nelson. We all call him Nelly. There's never a dull moment around this guy. I'm looking forward to today. One thing about him when it comes to fishing that I truly enjoy is that no matter what it takes to get the job done, we're gonna do it. Whether it's making long runs to catch bait, to get the right kind, or just putting the time in. He knows that's what it takes and that's what we're gonna do.
Kept eating, kept eating, kept eating. Got half the bait, kept eating, got the hook, baby. What was the saying? You ain't gotta go home, but you can't stay here.
All right, Nelly, you got a pretty morning. It's unusual for
Middle
late
of
June.
Yeah.
We got a north wind. It feels amazing out here.
Little humidity.
So we're a lot of thread fins right here by the bridge. We're catch a couple dozen of these real quick and hit the beach, see if we can catch maybe a tarpon, redfish.
That's the cool part about a north wind. You know, it might be blowing hard, but our bay's gonna be kind of rough, but the first part of the Gulf right there on shore should be pretty, you're right.
It's prime time for these tarpon. We've been catching some redfish on the beach, so we'll see what we can make happen today.
Middle of June, it don't get much better than this, so we should have a pretty successful day. So what it's like fishing with Josh Calhoun, let me tell you, it's a pretty good chance that you're gonna go out there, have some fun, and catch some fish. We've already done one show on season 1 of Waypoint TV, getting ready to go a second time for the second season, and really excited to see what today brings. He said multiple species we're gonna target, so here we go.
All right, Nelly, we got the well full. We got threadfins, cigar minnows, herrings.
Croakers.
We'll go down the beach and see if we can find these things. There's a couple different ways we find them. You're either gonna see them rolling on the surface or actually physically see them down deeper in the water.
That's right.
So I'll get up in the tower, we'll start running the beach and see if we can find our first school and get set up.
Let's do it, man.
All right.
I'm interested to see how it goes down.
Perfect day for it. Let's go.
Slick calm out here. So when we head out for a tarpon excursion, you're looking for these pods of in between, say, 10 and 12 fish, upwards to 100, 150 fish. And they'll just be cruising along the second sandbar, just migrating from down South Florida to Louisiana and back. And you'll catch them going east to west and vice versa. And when you go tarpon fishing, you're not out there to really catch any tarpon. You're out there to hook them and get a jump and get some aerial footage. And that is the epitome of tarpon fishing. Getting the bite, getting the action. And if you do land one boat side, you want to go out, you want to go buy yourself a lottery ticket because you have just conquered pretty much one of the hardest fish to catch.
There he is, got him all.
How cool is that? How freaking cool is that?
Got him on, with the drone up.
Atta baby, that's what we're looking for.
Got him on. What an air show that one's put on for us.
Bro, that fish ain't small either. That's a good one.
They're right offshore of us.
Bro, you know how hard it's been? How hard a day? We traveled probably a good 40, 50 miles in search for these things and finally got the bite we were looking for.
Oh, you might be able to get one right there. Doing the entire season 1 of Going Coastal and now going towards the end of the season 2, one species that we haven't gotten to chase has been the tarpon, also known as the Silver King. Traditionally, we don't get to film this late into the year. It's basically the end of June, but this year we've had a lot of bad weather, a lot of storms and a lot of cancellations on film days. So to be able to chase a tarpon and do it on camera, I wasn't gonna let this opportunity pass up.
Up ahead of the school we were looking for, after you had already hooked that one, and I was throwing up a little bit in front of him here, I seen a dang micro poon hanging with him, about a good solid just 1.5 feet, 2 foot.
Really?
Yeah, hanging out with him.
It's always just, the biggest thing with these is always remember when they come up like that, you just gotta give them all that slack.
And you've got to do it fast.
Or else that happens.
We gave it a good whirl, you know, tarpon fishing this time. We put in our time, traveled a bunch of miles. God, I can't count the miles that we passed. Ended up finding a school of about 70 to 80 fish, put our time in. It was probably a good 30 minutes before we got our first bite out of this school. Josh got the first bite, put him in the air, dried him off for about 3 or 4 different times. Super cool. To me, that's not necessarily a catch, but that's tarpon fishing. In my book, that's what we go out for. We go out to get the bite, the jumps, and like I said, you're gonna have to put your time in. It's really, really difficult to get the bite here, but we did. We stuck with it, and it all paid off in the end, as you can see.
There you go. Fish on. Fish off.
Fish off.
0 for 2.
So after we had hooked that one tarpon, I got another bite, put him in the air one time, and me and Josh kind of looked at each other. We had some weather coming, kind of wanted to make a shift. Getting a little tough to see with the June grass coming in, so we needed to make a change, needed to make a move. Josh had a little spot offshore, about, I don't know, 2.5 miles off the beach. Took us about 10 minutes to get there, and ended up hooking some amberjacks, saw some snappers, couldn't get them to eat. Hooked, I don't know, 6 or 8 amberjacks real quick. It was super cool to just know that, one, you could be on the beach 1 minute, and then second, be right offshore off the beach in 60, 70 foot of water catching amberjacks 10 minutes later. It's a really cool fishery around here due to the fact of many different options so close together.
Of course, I got the jack. See if we can get our first fish in the boat.
And to think them jokers didn't need a live bait to start with.
All right, finally got some action all the way to the boat. First fish captured today.
Good looking jack too.
Hold that in the water, Josh.
Yes, sir.
Let's see if we can turn that something bigger. Nice little amberjack.
Use the food chain.
It'd be short if it was in season, but they're all out of season. Fun fight, light tackle.
Super fun. Josh, I'd probably say pound for pound, that's probably one of the hardest fish we got that pulls.
Yeah, after that Goliath, it feels like 1,000 pounds.
When you get my age, they all feel like 1,000 pounds, especially matching the tackle to the fish, you know?
Well, we're about to do that.
One thing about what I like about Josh is he's geared for anything, whether that be red snapper, jacks, tarpon, whatnot. We've got different setups for different fish, and I've always wanted to hook into a Goliath grouper. We're sitting on a jack spot. We ended up catching a few jacks. There were some bonitas bumping around. We caught a bonita. Now I thought it was just for fun, just to catch the bonita. He's like, no, give me that thing. And sure enough, he hooks it up, sends it to the bottom on a Goliath, and it went down there 3 seconds. And I'll be doggone if it didn't get smashed. And as you can see, he won the battle. The Goliath won the battle, but we'll be back to get him some other time. But it was quite awesome to see a rod snap with so much power being put on it.
There it is.
At the bite? No way.
There he is.
Ah! That's freaking awesome. Oh my gosh. That's all it takes, huh, Cap? That's unbelievable.
Turning his head's a different story. And you know where they're at, and it's like that sometimes.
Hey, I totally agree. That was clear. So I know you're getting tired already. However, I need to talk to you about this. How much drag you're putting, what size hook,
all of it,
leader, everything that dang Plasma 2 has got going to that fish right now. You know the old saying goes, Josh, you get what you pay for, you know.
A backbreaker.
That too. Keep going. Shiza.
Wasn't meant to be.
It wasn't, but that was pretty dope, buddy. I don't care how it goes down. That was cool.
I hooked that Goliath up, and man, he started pulling. I knew he was getting close to the bottom. I had to pull back, and unfortunately, the Goliath grouper won today. He broke our rod, and to me, that was super exciting just to see that brute force of that fish, what it could do to these rods. I mean, I use these rods day in and day out, and they're some of the most durable rods I've ever used in my life. So once I broke that Goliath grouper off, it broke the pole. We cut it up, had a good time about it, and I gave him a hard time about not taking the rod, and he turned around, he wanted a shot at it. So I rigged up another pole, we caught another bait for it, another bonita, and we dropped it on, and it was game time.
Oh.
This time of the year, you never know what's gonna come up with a shark.
You don't. You never know, man. It could be anything.
Yeah,
we say one thing, and it's gonna be another. You say this, and it'll be something different you never expect. That's what the Gulf of America brings to you.
That's right. We're trying to get a Goliath, but you put big baits down like that, you just never know what's gonna come up.
Food chain at its finest. We went up and down the beach looking for tarpon, redfish. We come offshore just to get a bite, some footage. We've seen red snapper, amberjacks, bonitas, Spanish mackerels, sharks, Goliaths. There it is. Big old shark.
Anything with it?
Nope.
Yeah, this time of the year, I've seen sharks come up with 50, 60 cobias. You just never know. We get like a summer run of cobias, and they're usually on these big sharks. Look at that big old bull shark.
God almighty, that's a big old bull. While fishing in the summertime here in Destin, Florida, it is named the world's luckiest fishing village for a reason. You have many options in the summertime, and those options kind of contour themselves around what Mother Nature is going to bring to you. You know, if you're going to get run out by storms or whatnot, but you can fish inshore for redfish, black drum, speckled trout. Offshore, you can buzz around, find in June and July, you can find tarpon, king mackerel, Spanish mackerel, red snappers, amberjacks, triggerfish. There's just a whole a plethora of fish and options you can do here in the Destin, Florida area. And that's pretty much any time of year, but especially, you know, coming from like June 1st through August 31st. Come on, baby.
Starting to get them fired up.
once you catch one on a jacks, that's kind of what happens.
Again, the same thing. A hit, nothing. Oh, finally got one. Oh, spit it out. Man, I can't get one of these things to eat.
Buddy, let me tell you, it don't take much of those right there to wear a man out or woman out.
Hey guys, we're back here at the shop for the tackle talk for this episode. The main rod we used today was a Sequence from Star Rods paired up with 10,000 BGMQ from Daiwa. Our main target all morning long was tarpon. This 8-foot rod's a perfect rod when it comes to tarpon fishing. It has a great backbone with a soft enough tip to make great casts with these live baits. The second setup we used when we switched over to reef fishing for snappers is the 7-foot Plasma 2 boat rod. It's a heavy action from Star Rods. I have mine paired up with an 8,000 BGMQ from Daiwa with 50-pound braid. This is my favorite rod when it comes to snapper fishing. Between the durability and the lightweight, I love this rod. Moving on to the terminal tackle, when it comes to the leader, I personally like the Yozuri Super Fluorocarbon. It's a perfect combination of softness and it ties real well when it comes to your knots. As far as hooks, Owner Hooks came out with these Mutu hybrids a year or two ago. This has become my favorite hook. They had the Mutu and the Mutu Light, and this is a perfect combination between the two. It's a real lightweight hook with a perfect gauge that allows us to catch these big snappers without straightening out the hooks. If you guys want to check out more information on any of these products, check out Emerald Coast Bait and Tackle on their social media platforms or their website at ecbaitandtackle.com. See that storm you're talking about back there? Hoping we can get a couple more bites before we get chased out of here.
Yep.
There's a lot of bonitas around in the area. You can see them busting. I think these jacks are just spread out.
That storm back there started as a little bitty blip on the radar. Man, it just grows and grows. Most of the time, late afternoon.
It's that summer weather pattern.
Yep. I think it's rained either on or within about a 20-mile radius of us, probably 15 of the last 16 days. You know, before we left the dock, Josh had talked to me about, how, hey, let's go do some tarpon fishing. If that don't work out, we can find some redfish on the beach. And so that's what we did. We tuned it to where we were gonna go look for some tarpon first. We put a few in the air. We went and looked for some redfish. Unfortunately, the redfish on the beach wasn't there due to June grass and stuff like that, which we had done a season prior. In season 1 episode, we'd done some redfish on the beach, huge success. And you could tell the difference in the water clarity at that point in time. And then we just kind of pivoted and made our move offshore, and it kind of worked all the way out, kind of come full circle. Tarpon fishing, redfish on the beach, offshore jack fishing. Huge success today, had a great time. Couldn't ask for a better day, to be honest with you. Not a clue what that was, but he hit it with a brick. Like a ton of bricks.
There you go, you finally got one to bite, huh?
It took a minute. I think the tax man came through for a second though.
But you get a bite on that time.
Big herring.
Oh, double hook up.
God almighty.
Been a pretty tough day, Josh. We ran the beach for most of the day.
All things considered,
We did get a couple good air shows.
Our targeted species wasn't captured, but man, our main goal is to come out here, have some fun, catch some fish, and we've done that. So essentially, we've done what we wanted to do, but just the targeted species wasn't captured. However,
we hooked
like you did
all
mention,
the targeted species.
we dang sure did, buddy, and we got some nice aerial video, and
you want a Goliath grouper? We hooked one.
we hooked one of them, sharks, jacks, tarpons.
We got a heck of an air show from the one that I hooked, and then you got yours to jump that first time and threw the hook, but
Buddy, that's a fine one right there now.
I'll tell you what's a fine one is that storm coming and chase after us.
That might be last all she wrote one.
Oh yeah. I think we're in the day with this one.
I mean, that's a heck of a one to end on. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Had a great time, man.
Second
let
time
this
in
thing-
2 years, baby.
Yeah. Great day of fishing. Good time on the water.
Buddy,
Let this fish go, and
I can't ask for any more.
I don't want to get rained on or electrocuted, so we're gonna run home from this thing.
Let's do it.
Overall, it was an amazing day on the water with Nelly. We went tarpon fishing, jumped a few fish, went offshore, bottom fish, got on some amberjack, some snappers, broke off that Goliath grouper. He caught a monster shark. There's never a dull moment with this guy, and it's always great being around him. We plan on fishing even longer today, but Mother Nature had other plans. We ran out of bait for tarpon fishing. One thing about tarpon fishing, it is addicting. We ran out of baits. We ran all the way back to the pass, caught more baits, and ran back down to the area where we left a wad of fish when we ran out of bait. And Mother Nature had other plans. A big old afternoon storm was brewing, so we made one last stop and hauled back home before we got bombarded by that storm.